Всем привет.
Всем привет.
Всем привет. Hola amigos de El Intermedio Podcast. Estamos aquí con Nika Udalov.
Yeah.
Nika Udalov, que está aquí para hablar de la película Major Grom, Plague Doctor. Nika, how are you? Oh, ¿hablas español? ¿Poquito?
No.
Okay. Yo no hablo ruso, entonces we'll stick to English,
Okay,
which I think we both do pretty well. So we are here to talk about Major Grom, Plague Doctor. I saw the movie on Netflix. We just came from your panel up on room 6DE, and it was a movie that I enjoyed a lot. Very relatable, right? It's a hero movie, right? But it's not a traditional or ordinary superhero movie, and I think that's what makes it stand out. So can you tell us a little bit about Major Grom?
Yeah, I would love to. So we all imagine our hero to wear a cape and have the underwear on top of the pants, but in different cultures, a hero is very different. And here we show you a simple guy that even a little bit clumsy. You can take it from YouTube that you see that he falls through the gate and everything. He's a little bit clumsy, aren't we all?
He's very human, which I think is what makes him stand out from your typical hero, like your perfectionist that you have bullets bouncing off of you and stuff like that. So I think that's what makes him super relatable, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So we know about the movie. You gave us some figures, right? It was #1 on Netflix in July.
It was.
You told us how many liters of gasoline were burned.
260.
Right. We know how many cars were destroyed, which was about 30.
About 38,
right?
yeah.
And light fixtures that were built for the set to help with the lighting.
Everything was built.
It's a very involved movie. Very real movie because there's no green screen, not a lot of Hollywood special effects. So again, it's very down to earth, like we like to say, right? Can you also tell me how many pots of coffee Major Grom had to put to go through this movie? Because he drinks a lot of coffee, right?
He is, and in the movie on Netflix, the one you saw, it was on YouTube. You can add a link down below easily.
Yes.
The one on Netflix, the question is more like a taco or like or a crab or like.
So to Popeye, spinach is his fuel, right?
It's kind of the food.
And this is Major Grom's fuel, right?
Yeah.
This is what he likes to rush with. His incentive to go fight crime.
Yeah.
The story is really awesome because it's almost like not just his country with all the crime that's been happening, corruption, which is worldwide, but also his department kind of like gives up on him, right?
Yeah.
And he decides, you know what? I'm going to do what I do best, which is take action for myself.
Yeah, follow your values, and you see he's pretty egoistic as well. Like you can tell he's like, okay, no, I'm going to get this man no matter what.
Very determined.
Yeah,
right?
and
determined.
Even money is not the problem here because it's like fighting against good.
Yeah.
And as justice and law is not always aligned, this is the way to show the entire world, okay, this is what we're dealing with right now.
And another thing that I loved about him is that he's very humble, right? He doesn't want to take the credit for the bank heist and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's what sets him apart from a typical hero, right?
Yep.
He wants the press, he wants the attention. Now, Major Grom didn't start as a movie, so tell me where Major Grom started.
Awesome. Okay, so you're right. Major Grom actually started as a comic book, and it is all part of Bubble Comics. We have 100 issues, 25 books that became millions of sold copies, and today it's funny to think about it because 8 years ago there was absolutely no comic culture in Russia, none. And here we go, we grew, and it's not only Major Grom. We had a Kickstarter of Exlibrium, which is imagine that stories that you read in the books come to life. So it's all about that. We have the Demon Slayer, which is like a demon that has this tattoos on his hands and like also follows his values, and it's just something very unique. So you can find a specific comic book for each and every just genre, just what you like.
Okay.
So that's incredible. And because it became such a big bestseller, like created a huge move in Russia, we created a movie because, okay, come on. If some people read comics, some don't, and we have a huge movie now.
Yeah. Now, where can people find these comics or books here in the U.S. and maybe nearby, like Canada, Mexico? How far are you trying to cast your net with Major Grom?
We want to just give it out to people who are open-minded and want to see this and want to be part of history. We have an app. The comics are translated there in English. You can go through that. We are still not in the market, in the American market, as printed issues and books. We do sell them on Comic-Con conventions, but definitely like they become like very rare and very amazing. Actually, the drawing, we have like several artists are sitting there day and night. Sometimes artists are like night people, and they're like sleeping in the office, like having this muse, and different artists just draw the Major Grom even differently, and each and every series differently. So it's kind of cool. You get like the character from different perspectives. So where you can get it on the app,
what's the app
or
name?
Delivered.
The app name?
It's just you write Bubble Comics, and you get there. There's a QR code on our paper. We can like give it to you for them.
Yes, we'll go ahead and post that.
Awesome. And like you can ask it delivered as well. We have everything in our stock, and we want it to be reachable for everyone. Like we got emails from people in Israel, in Peru, in Japan, and in Italy, like saying, guys, where can we get this comics? This is awesome. We want it. And like, we send it to them. We just ship it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, there you have it. Go ahead and do a search for Bubble Comics. iTunes, Apple's, and Android Play Store?
Yeah.
Okay, everything. Go ahead and look for that. Now, with the hit of the comic book, the hit of the movie, the prequel that we just saw right now, the way that the movie ends, it hints at a sequel. Can we expect more from Major Grom? Because obviously he's made a very big impact here. He made a big impact for me, right? That I want to see more. Can we see more maybe in other venues like video games besides the comic books and stuff like that?
Ooh, that's a great question. That is a great question. I didn't know about video games, even though like people are very much into it, and this is the future as well. Maybe we will develop there. We do have a good story to give out to people.
Yes.
What like next stop? Like I can't really say it.
Okay.
But
fine.
I know that there's a platform, and there's an ask for it. People ask for it, so demand. There's a demand for it,
awesome.
and so we'll bring our audience the love that we want to share.
So keep your eyes and ears open.
Yeah.
Because who knows, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, the movie has obviously a villain to a hero. We need a villain, right? The villain is the Plague Doctor, which we have here in the background. How was the villain developed for someone as, not to put it in a bad way, right, but someone as ordinary as Major Grom?
Yeah.
Because he's just a regular person. We have someone that has flamethrowers. He has this weird technology that burns and disintegrates people. How was Plague Doctor developed?
Okay, so in the world where you have values and you want like to make, in the world that you want to make it as humanized as possible, you need a superhero on the one hand, that protects the law or justice, and then you have the villain. But here, there's something interesting about it.
The twist,
because
yes.
he is kind of for the people. He is making everything, he is fighting for justice. But funny enough, justice here is not the right way. So the fight here is on the way. You see how we operate and how we create justice.
Right. Obviously, both fighting for the good of the people,
Yeah.
but they both have their motives, even their reasoning behind how they're cleaning up, right?
Yeah.
Corruption and all that kind of stuff, which is interesting. But I think it's a great villain
Yeah.
to a great hero, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Major Grom, Plague Doctor. The trailer. What's the official name for the bank heist prequel?
You just type Major Grom and you find all of it in the channel. You see what this company, what Bubble Comics is all about, is to share it, how we made the story, how we built it. So you have a lot of the back scenes, even like costume talking, a professional that talks about building the entire city and developing the story. Those who wrote the stories, they're my bosses. I'm so proud to say that, because these guys just thought about it detailed. Wow, they did an amazing job. And it's not a one person's job, not at all. It's a team. And if you could tell, like, we are a team of young people, people that are not dependent on commercialized, not commercials. We make it, we create it very much from our heart. So that's something new that Hollywood didn't see till now. As well as if you watch it carefully, and if you're like very much into film, you'll see that we developed a technology that Hollywood never saw up until now. We literally build it. And we brought like producers from like different places just to tell us how can we, and they said, no guys, there's no technology like that, you need to build it. And it's like,
And
okay,
and
we
you
did. Like in the bank, there's like a 360 camera that's like running like that. It's nothing.
Wow.
It's
Oh, wow.
insane.
So you're innovative. On top of a great story, you have great innovation, because we saw it. We saw it throughout the movie. But I think the movie is, like I said, it's wonderful. The title, Major Grom, Plague Doctor. Now the panel that we had was called The American Dream. Can you tell us a little bit about that connotation for the American Dream?
Of course. You see, what is the American dream? It's like being so small, you know, and build yourself with the dream you have and make it real. And we love the idea that from a small comic book company that like 8 years ago, we had a booth, a super small booth at the end of the hall. Nobody ever came. It's like a little bit of people. Yeah, International Comic Con, okay. But everything else is here. And we slowly developed it. And from a small company that just has a dream and no commercials, no nothing, came out like something big. And we're just glad that people noticed it and fell in love with it, and were, as I said, open-minded enough and open-hearted enough to enjoy.
Right. Yes. Now, you mentioned the small company. How small is Bubble Comics? Do you know, like?
Oh, it's not small anymore.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Oh
that's
my
good.
gosh.
That's always a good sign, right?
It's the biggest company in Russia.
Okay.
We have like a schedule that we print like every month, every week we have a different issue coming from different like comics. So everything is on time. We have an editor-in-chief, which is like very precise. You can't miss it. No. You're gonna stay here all night until you finish. And you know, like artists are going crazy.
So
but
pots of coffee going there too, right?
Oh my God, coffee here and there, flying all around. But definitely, if you ever have the opportunity to be in a comic book office,
that's the one to go to.
Oh my gosh, it's not high-tech, guys. It's just like birds flying from like, the artist needed a bird to draw, and like they just brought a bird. and sitting on people's while they're like drawing. It's crazy.
Yeah. So we talked about innovation, right? I think that's what sets you guys apart too. Awesome.
Definitely.
All right. Well, спасибо большое.
Пожалуйста, большое.
All right. That's it. That's all we have for this interview. Nika, thank you so much. It was awesome meeting you. It was awesome walking through this experience of Major Grom, Plague Doctor, seeing that bank heist trailer before the actual movie. If you haven't seen the movie, go see the movie. Stay towards the end and stay past the credits because you'll see what we're talking about.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Nika.
Thank
it was
you
awesome.
so,
we hope
so,
to
so
see
much.
you future years with even more Major Grom.
Yeah,
and who
with
knows, maybe
one
even more
bigger
material.
booth.
Yes, exactly, like a walkthrough and stuff like that. That would be awesome.
Oh.
Gave you an idea?
Here we
I'll take
go.
credit. I'll take credit for that.
1%.
So, yes, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.